Hey guys, it's Ninjagaijin here. I'm here with a new episode. Today I want to talk about graduation, specifically junior high school graduations here in Japan. Today is March 9th, 2018, and we had a graduation ceremony at one of my junior high schools that I go to. I actually go to 3 different junior high schools this year. Nonetheless, as far as all the staff, all the teachers, for the men, we are supposed to wear suits, a white necktie, as well as a white undershirt. I have a golden tie, and my shirt is red. So as you can see, yeah, I did not really give a crap about that memo, and I just wore what I wanted to wear. So there was that. Nonetheless, I go to school, all the teachers are looking at me, and some of them say, "Oh, you know, really nice suit." I'm sure half of them were thinking like, well, wait, why are you not wearing white necktie with a white shirt? But nonetheless, it was cool. I actually got a compliment that I got originally 7 years ago. That's right, 7 years ago with my very first graduation ceremony. I actually wore the same combo. It was a different suit. It was a black suit, but the button down was red. It was this one, and this was the tie that I wore. Actually, this is the tie that I wore for my jet interview initially when I first came to Japan. Nonetheless, a teacher today actually said, "Oh, you look like Lupin." If you're not familiar with that anime series, usually wears a red suit with a golden tie, but for some reason this look reminded her of Lupin, and I was actually told that I looked like Lupin 7 years ago, so that was pretty cool. It gave me a nice nostalgia right there. Graduation ceremony exactly started around 9:40. All the teachers, everyone gets into the auditorium or the gym, and I can tell you guys, it was freezing in there today. Unfortunately, this whole week was cold, but specifically today, it was around 4 degrees, and in that huge gym, yeah, it was bad. They had these like mini little shitty heaters in all 4 corners of the room, but I can tell you guys, it was not comfortable at all. I was freezing. I don't usually wear a suit to work. I usually wear something way more comfortable, and unfortunately, this suit, not a winter suit, guys. No, not a winter suit. So I was pretty much freezing, and I was sitting in my chair, and usually what I tend to do for graduation ceremonies is I actually like to sit in the back or stand in the back. So after I watch for a while, I can just kind of go back to the staff room, because quite honestly, guys, I do not want to sit through all of it. But unfortunately, once I got in, you know, I went much further in than I was supposed to. Yeah, where have you heard that before? Nonetheless, so I go into the gym, and one of the teachers waves me down and says, "Oh yeah, Nima, like this is your seat." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And to give you an idea about the gym's layout, in the back, so once we enter the gym, right, in that back area, that is where the 1st and 2nd grade students are seated. And then in the middle of the gym, that is where all the parents for the graduating class or the 3rd year students are sitting. And then in the way front of the gym, if that's where there were seats there, and that's where the 3rd grade students are going to sit. They haven't actually entered the gym yet. They have the whole spiel where they walk in, but I'll get to that in a minute. Anyways, for the teachers, we are in the front, all the way on the left-hand side, really in this nook area. And she's like, "Oh yeah, come sit here." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Oh shit, guys. It hit me. I was like, crap, why am I sitting here? Nonetheless, I sit there, and the 3rd grade students were coming in, and this is one of my bigger schools. There's like around almost 200 students for the graduating class, and they're all coming in very slowly, and we're all clapping our hands. Clap your hands. My hands were aching. Literally, there was pain radiating from my hands, guys. Like it was painful, and I'm like looking around, trying to see if anyone else is having problems with the constant clapping. No one, just me. I couldn't believe it. So I'm like, at first I try and clap like this, and then I switch my hands, and then I try and do these air claps. My hands were numb, literally numb by the end of it. Nonetheless, after all the 3rd grade students came in, they sat down. Then the vice principal got up. He introduced the principal, who came up, and he gave this like welcome speech, etc. And then they began passing out the graduation certificates, with the individual students' names. So in my school they have like 6 different classes. So from class 1 to class 6, each student would come up one by one, receive their congratulations of graduating, take it, and then put it in this box that another teacher was holding. So they did this for about 45 minutes. I was getting really tired. I think at one point I was about to sleep, but because of where I was situated, if I slept completely, not only will the 3rd grade students be able to see me sleeping, but also the parents. So you don't want to mess with that. I should also mention on the opposite side of where the teachers were sitting, so we have the teachers, and in the middle, in the front, we have the 3rd grade students. On the other side, they have their special guests. Special guests basically are the PTA president, as well as local people in the community. Specifically, they also brought like elementary school vice principals, some principals of high schools, etc. Nonetheless, after each student received their graduating certificate, and then handed it back to this other guy, they started singing songs. So you had the 3rd grade students in the front, you had parents, and then you had the 2nd and the 1st graders in the back. So they were singing to each other. They have this like singing thing. And it was very nice, it was very good, but it was cold as balls in the gym, guys. Like literally, it was bad. So I was just waiting for them to finish. And then after a song, I told myself, I gotta go. So I just got up and I went to the back. I watched a little bit more, and then I just went back to the staff room. I could not handle it anymore. It was so cold in the gym. And then before I know it, literally 10 minutes later, it finished. So I almost made it to the finish line, but just not quite. Anyway, so after a lot of singing, then what they did is they have some different things around the school, basically like, thank you messages for the 1st or 2nd grade students, for the graduating class, etc. I should mention that after the singing, there was some more speeches from the new, student council. So the 2nd grade students they're going into 3rd grade, and they gave some more speeches. You will notice one thing about Japan once you come. Japan loves speeches, guys. There is a speech to give a speech about a speech that's going to be given on a different day. Yeah, lots of speeches. And I don't knock it. I really don't. It's very tiring. It's extremely tiring. Nonetheless, after that finished, around noon is when they had they call it like, I don't know exactly how you call it in English, but they basically, all the students go outside, they form a giant line. So you have the non-graduating students, of course. So you have the 1st grade students on one side, 2nd grade students on the other. They have these like arches, graduation arches, you could say. And then the 3rd grade students walk in, and they walk through I guess that road, or whatever you want to call it. And you have lots of people clapping, we high five each other, etc. So I also went in there. And so I also went in there, and I waved to the students. A few students for every class. They actually had these like the blowing balloons and stuff like that, or blowing bubbles. That's right, they were blowing bubbles at each other, and it was very nice. I gave some high fives and stuff, etc. Students loved it, but it was really cold. So after they walked through that, I should also mention that the graduating class, the individual students, sometimes they give letters to students that are still at the school, right, to their friends, etc. I actually heard that in the olden days, if let's say it was a graduating boy and he liked a girl that wasn't graduating, he would actually give them his button off his jacket, off his student uniform. I didn't see any of that. I think that's more what they used to do, but I did see a lot of letters being passed around and given to various students, etc. And then after that, they had about 20-minute free time. So you had the students, you had the parents, you had everyone just outside, and they were taking pictures with their favorite teachers, etc. And then around 12:30 or 12:40 is when everything wrapped up. And basically they went on to the sound system of the school, and they basically told the students and parents it's time for you to go home. And that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about this video or any of my other videos, feel free to comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Bye.